My name is Amber Yin, and I will be your MC today. It is my privilege this evening to stand before you to recognize our students for their academic success. The 8th grade ceremony is very special to us as we begin to honor our 8th grade students with our longest standing tradition here at Crestview. We are excited to recognize an outstanding group of academic students. At this time, I ask that you now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The amphora was a container used in ancient times to hold wine, oil, or water. Crestview's amphora, placed on the stage below me, is believed to be over 2,000 years old. Mr. E. William Land, Crestview's first principal, was responsible for purchasing our amphora over 40 years ago, and it has become a symbol at Crestview for the quest for success and excellence. The sharing of this quest will be symbolized as students walk up here today and place a coin next to the amphora. We look forward to celebrating each one of the students today. Now, please join me in welcoming our wonderful building principal, Dr. Jansen, to say a few words.
Tell her I'll take wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for braving the cold and coming out to join us this evening. It is certainly my honor to stand before all of you today. I'm humbled to be able to serve our Crestview community. It really is an amazing place to work. It's a great place for our students and staff to learn and grow. And each day I have the pleasure of being able to witness something special that makes me more and more proud to be part of this school family. Our students at Crestview are amazing. They've exhibited leadership, musical talent, theatrical skills, athletic abilities, and high academic performance. This year our district has implemented a strategic plan known as the Way Forward. And as a building, we have chosen to implement that by making sure that all of our students are participating in project-based learning, that they're receiving the necessary supports they need to be successful, and that they feel that they're part of a safe and caring school community. And we have tied these directly into our building theme of There's No Place Like Crestview. This also aligns with our building vision of serving, learning, and leading. Our students show that they have heart as they're willing to serve in many ways. They're finding different ways to give back to the community, whether it's participating in our Got Your Backpack program or our holiday outreach. Our students show that they have courage in the way that they lead, and they exhibit these skills in the classroom. They lead their peers. Many of these students here are web leaders. They participate in National Honor Society, or they participate in daily leadership roles in their classrooms. And our students have definitely proved that they have knowledge, and they are learning as well. They've been recognized in spelling and math competitions, science competitions, robotics, and much more. And Crestview students are achieving at high levels, and it's witnessed here today as we honor all these great students sitting in front of us. And on a final note, we're excited to share, that we're a Lighthouse Academic Honor Roll for showing exemplary academic proficiency, and then recently we were just named a State School of Character. These students are certainly a great part in contributing to our success, and I congratulate every one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our jazz band, under the direction of Mr. Bob Wilhite. Megan Minchella to say a few words.
Well, good evening, parents and 8th grade students. It's good to see such a really full room here tonight. First, I'd like to start by addressing the parents and the guardians here today. Thank you for your support. The old saying is that it takes a village to raise a child, but today it takes a gymnasium. We are all in this together. Building the future is our community effort, and as teachers, we greatly appreciate the involvement you bring in the education of the leaders in front of me today. But students, I want you to know how much support and love you have around you. Look at everyone here today. Your parents, your guardians, siblings, teachers, administrators, counselors, custodians, nurses, and even the students sitting next to you. Everyone here wants to see you succeed. You are here to celebrate everything you've accomplished academically this year. Between the tests you've taken, the debates you've had, and the stories you've written, you've definitely had a busy year, but you've triumphed through all that hard work. Now, 8th graders, this is a big year in your life. You have a lot going on right now, and I'm going to be honest and say that this 8th grade crowd looks smaller than the ones I saw in 6th grade and 7th grade this morning. Because by 8th grade, the easy thing to do would be to slack off with a been there, done that mentality. But you didn't. And 8th grade is really, really hard. We expect a lot out of you, and we push you to achieve more. Whether this is your first year, second, or third year being recognized here, you've put in the hard work. With high school around the corner, you will truly see that payoff in folds. The habits you've created in middle school will be what you put forth in high school, and you guys are all role models for this school. We want you to know that we are so proud of you, and as you leave us in May, continue to find your love of learning, but know that Crestview will always be here to support your future endeavors. Yet now as a history teacher, I would be remiss if I did not share a quick history lesson with you all today. When I was in Italy a few summers ago, I would see many amphoras, especially in the city of Pompeii. There were over 70 amphoras on display that survived the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. They were used for transporting goods like honey, milk, and olive oil, while some were filled with olives and given away to the victors at the ancient Greek Olympic Games. Some vases would be small and handheld, while some would be up to 3 feet tall. Each would be decorated differently, with many of them plain, but an equal number would be carved with a beautiful design or a story on the outside. Making each vessel took plenty of hours and hard work as the artist would build their vase from the bottom up. So throughout your middle school career, you are building your own amphora and competing in your own personal Olympics called life. It takes time, hard work, and patience. And as you grow and learn, you shape your mindset and your overall sense of self. The knowledge you learn here will be the base you carry with you through life. Your teachers are giving you a foundational education while you weave your own coils and find your path, because your education is your key to your future, but it's also important to understand that no two paths look the same. So lastly, while it is important to work hard and succeed in your education, there's a few things that could possibly matter even a little bit more than that. Kindness, empathy, and good moral character should be your guiding forces. Although you guys may not think this, we teachers know that you have a life outside of school. As you get older, it's important to take advantage of every single opportunity that you have. Make new friends, find a new hobby, travel to foreign countries, spend time with your families, and do random acts of kindness. We're all in this together, so don't forget to take time to better yourself and the world that we live in. Support the people around you, and of course, remember to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Congratulations again. We are all so proud of you.
Thank you, Ms. Manchella. It's obvious why you are our Teacher of the Year. We appreciate all of your dedication to this school and all that you do to help us be successful at Crestview. Next, we are honored to hear a message from our outstanding student speaker leaders. Before that, I want to first introduce Mr. Walsh, the 8th grade principal, as he will introduce our student speakers for today.
Good evening, students, parents, and guests. Paul Ryan once said, "Every successful individual knows that his or her achievement depends upon a community of persons working together." This statement embodies the tradition and stature of the Amphora Award. Students, your hard work and discipline over the last 3 years have served you well and will help you to achieve your goals in high school and beyond. But please don't forget that your success has been guided by the care, support, and encouragement of your parents, teachers, and fellow students. We as a Crestview community are very proud of all of you, and we look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you will do and achieve. You have grown into outstanding leaders, and I know that you will go far and do great things. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Rashmi Kurkanda, Anna Hill Jones, and Sadaka Saraf to share with us what has made the biggest impact on them during their journey through Crestview. Please help me welcome these lovely ladies to the podium.
My first day of middle school was probably very similar to many of yours. I walked in Crestview anxious, worried, and should be 5th grader, and immediately I was hit with a wave of panic. What if I get lost? What if no one likes me? What if I can't open my locker? Is my outfit okay? Spoiler alert, my outfit was ugly. But there was a reason for that. For one, I didn't have much of a fashion sense back then, so my mother thought it was a good idea for her to choose my outfits. That didn't go so well. Additionally, I was the definition of an introvert, and I didn't like to voice my opinions. So when my mom dressed me like I was straight out of the 1980s, I didn't tell her that my outfit was whack. Now when I look back at my introverted 6th grade self, I'm amazed to see how much I've changed. Over my 3 years at Crestview, I've gained the courage and confidence to talk to new people, speak my mind in public, give a speech in front of a huge crowd, and tell my mom that I don't like the clothes she wants me to wear. Even though I was quiet, strange, and shy, Crestview opened me with open arms. All of my teachers have been very encouraging, kind, and supportive of me. All of them have taught me to be confident in myself and my ability to learn. They've always given me advice on how to improve myself, and I have to thank them all for that. They're the ones that truly deserve a raise. Not only have my teachers at Crestview made a big impact on me, I can't leave without talking about my friends and classmates. I remember entering middle school with my small social life and my big phobia of talking. On my first day, I remember everyone being so nice and kind to me, and I recall making so many new friends. Crestview has always been a big place with our multiple clubs, activities, electives, and classes, but I've always felt like I was part of something here. The best thing my friends have taught me is to be myself, no matter the judgment. Before middle school, I didn't have much of a personality, as I was always too scared to talk to people and tell them about how cool and quirky I was. I wouldn't be surprised if I was known as Sanika, the abnormally quiet and shy girl. Thanks to my friends, I'm now a different version of myself, and I finally love who I am. 6th grade Sonika would have never had such a noisy and fun friend group. She would have never spoken out in class, and I'm sure her teachers would have never known that she existed. She would have never been obsessed with a thing called K-pop, and she would have never been more proud of herself for having an addiction to it. She would have never wrote an Amphora speech at her own will and presented it in front of the entire 8th grade. She would have never been happy with who she truly is, a quirky wannabe TikTok star. No matter how cheesy this sounds, I'd like to thank everyone at Crestview Middle School for finally teaching me to love myself and helping me find my passion in life. It's probably the only lesson I'll remember for more than a few years. Thanks to Crestview Middle School, I'm ready for the challenges of my high school and my future. Thanks to Crestview Middle School, I can start a new part of my life with the confidence of a new and improved Sonika. Thanks to Crestview Middle School, I realized that life isn't about fitting in. It's about standing out and accepting who you are. Thank you.
The lion. From a young age, we learned that these majestic creatures struck through their lives fearlessly, going on hunts and fending for their young. But new research shows that lions live in a state of constant fear, not just from humans, but from the risk of their day-to-day prey. One wrong move in a hunt could result in a fatal kick, leaving a lion paralyzed. So how can a creature with so much fear and everything to lose survive in the wild, much less be one of the most notoriously preyed predators? Simply put, it's mastered its ecosystem and its mind, to use its fear as motivation before going out on the hunt. For a while, I felt like a lion in my own right. From 1st to 5th grade, I had an ecosystem of my own. It was an after-school daycare that suited me perfectly. Although I wasn't old enough to really be considered a counselor, many of our caretakers trusted me to do small jobs like setting out snacks, cleaning tables, and reading to the younger kids. I thrived on that responsibility and would find myself spending hours among hours with those kids, playing games, helping them with homework, and listening to their stories. Every moment I spent being their big sister, I adored. When middle school came along, though, everything changed for me. It stripped me out of my comfortable habitat and put me in a new one. Having that passion for responsibility wasn't normal or accepted anymore, and I went on a downhill spiral. I was only doing what was asked of me and nothing more. I was afraid of being bullied or not being accepted, and I let my fear of rejection get in the way of what I wanted, to be a leader. I was no longer the king of the jungle. I was prey, and I was afraid. Then, one day, a teacher of mine was going through a lesson and said something that caught my attention. 6th grade camp was in need of counselors, and there was an application waiting on her desk. It was an opportunity to get back that piece of me I was missing. I knew deep down the second she told us about it that I wanted to be a camp counselor, but I'd been away from that experience for so long. Up until that point, I thought I'd left those responsibilities behind me, and to be quite honest, I wasn't sure if I was ready to go back. As the days got closer to the deadline, my anxiety grew, and I found myself in a constant internal fight. I had the experience and all the qualities I would need, but I couldn't bring myself to take that next step. The thought of not being chosen obscured all of my logic and reasoning. Although I didn't think I was good enough, I was extremely lucky to have other people who did. A couple of friends here at school encouraged me to apply. Now I'm not sure what exactly pushed me to go for it, but looking back, I see a small epiphany in my way of thinking. I realized that if I were to keep going down this track of saying no every time a new opportunity arose, I would never get to be the person I wanted or needed to be. So I applied. Put everything I had into that application, and I was accepted. It meant a lot to me to be part of camp. Seeing the smiles on those kids' faces after cooking something or blasting a fake rocket into space reassured me of something I'd known this whole time. I love leading people, and I know if I hadn't taken the chance, I would have regretted it. Needless to say, throughout this entire experience, I learned a lot. Most importantly, though, I learned everyone has fear. Recognizing my own was crucial. But at the end of the day, there's no real courage without fear. And like a hungry lion, you have to have the courage to go after what you want and attack your dreams. Thank you.
We started off with tear-streaked faces going to preschool and leaving with our faces pointed toward the uncertainty of our future. I remember when I was in elementary school, and when I asked my mom where I would go to for middle school, she would tell me, "Well, don't worry about that right now. There's still so much time for it." Well, time flies, and now my mom will be seeing me off to high school next school year. The next thing you know, your parents will be seeing you off to college, watching you begin your job, attending your wedding, and witnessing any other milestones that you come to achieve. Time is something that waits for no one. It moves oh so quickly, and then you're left with wisps and fragments of the life you used to live. We always think that we have so much time on our hands, but in reality, the clock is always ticking. It's up to you on how you want to spend that time. Maybe you want to spend some time studying for a test. Maybe you want to go over to hang out with your friends. Or maybe you just want to binge watch Netflix all day. Guilty as charged. But when things start to become more difficult and challenging, and you need to actually start using your time wisely, it's hard. We are so used to having the freedom we want to decide what we want to do with our lives that we don't stress too much on the important stuff. Over the years, I have come to know this as procrastinating. Now, I'm sure all of you know what it means to procrastinate, and I am even more sure that you have done it at some point in your lives. I have, and that's when our mentors come in. People like coaches, parents, guardians, teachers, and friends. They are those people that will always be ready to help us out no matter what. They have made the most impact on me. The teachers who offer to help me prioritize my work ethics, the friends who help me plan out my day, the counselors who help me decide what I want to do with my life. They make it their top priority to help us manage our time wisely, in addition to helping us balance our day-to-day lives. I can truly say that there's no place like Crestview because Crestview is more than just a school. It is a place where we as students are prepared for the next times in our lives and we receive the proper guidance to do so. This is a school where we are taught to keep moving and continue forming the new and exciting ideas we have to offer to the world. As we begin our transition into high school, we need to make sure that we continue to prioritize our time. Like Benjamin Franklin once said, Lost time is never found again. We have the choice to do what we want with our time, but we need to make sure that we are spending it wisely. The clock is always ticking, but with the support of people at Crestview, I have learned to make good use of that time. With all the support we have received from the school, we can use it to form a path to success. Or, if we go with our Wizard of Oz theme, we form a yellow brick road to follow. On that note, I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is time flies, but you know what the good news is? You're the pilot.
Now, for the event we have all been waiting for, it is time to recognize all of our 8th grade Amphora students. We ask that you hold your applause until the very end of our recognition. Reading the student names will be Miss Kelly Garbero, Miss Suzanne Whitford, and Miss Megan Michella.
Here we go. Jessica Aldenderfer. Cecilia Alexander. Shredda Alu. Morgan Anderson. Carly Bachman. Harsh Baines. Sydney Barkley. Dolce Bauer. Alexander Bender. Claire Best. Costa Bigley. Ava Boyd. Sam Bola. Christian Bowman. Noelle Breitenwisher. Heather Brundage. Jackson Brusati. Grace Burlage. Abby Burleson. Arnav Usani. Jackson Butler. Adam Calabrese. Isabel Carlson. Joey Carson. Nick Castiglione. Lillian Chan. Sophie Chang. Allie Chansky. Vikram Cheka. Alex Chen. Courtney Shirelli. Isley Shirelli. Sarah Craig. Mackenzie Crum. Olivia Kuhn. Harmon. Tara Deshpande. Nisha Druno. James Dooley. Anna Dunn. Thomas Dupree. Noor Elbeshbeshi. Brooke Elston. Preston Forbes. Daisy Foster. Paige Fowler. Jayla Freeman. Donovan Gardner. Hunter Garton. Juliana Goodrich. Manusvi Gotikati. Ronith Gowney. Emerson Greenblatt. Landon Griesbach. Trinity Gigi. Evan Holter. Bahadur Khan. Parker Hibben. Anna Cohill Jones. Kaylee Hillis. Noah Henney. Isabella Hogan. Alexander Hoffman. Willem Hummel. Charlie Ingram. Elliot Jorgensen. Isaac Yochevsky. Ruda Isara. Brianna Kapler. Jackson Kinko. Olivia Kerr. Nathaniel Kirby. Kyle Kloss. Natalie Klein. Natalie Knudsen. Rashmi Korakunda. Julie Kozelik. McKinley Freckler. Kyle Kavasta.
Casey Lane. Elizabeth Lee. Brianna Lee. Sophia Mazzarello. Emily Madsen. Madeline Hall. Charlotte Manning. Kylie Markley. Olivia Martinez. Dominic Mazzola. Ryan McBride. Ava McLean. Zane Deere. Annabelle Miller. Cassie Molman. Amin Maklik. Christopher Muntean. Anika Natakoda. Mackenzie Neal. Margot Obermeyer. Brian Ucci. Amin Kalinati. Allison Conquest. Kennedy Park. Patel. Kennedy Payne. Melissa Gibson.
Ariana Powell. Pierre Pratt. Logan Presner. Abigail Kordanashki. Landon Toomey. Charlotte Quinn. Julia Rajput. Sumadka Rameshbadu. Nathan Rampy. Austin Reed. Oh, Mason Reed, sorry. Gavin Reisenberg. Jack Robinson. Mia Sabusa. Michael Sahar. Rita Salah. Sanika Saraf. Mia Savusa. Mia Schaefer. Mark Schultes. Andrew Scolomilio. Nicholas Scolomilio. Keishu Salam. Daxton Shaw. So Ari Chitoli. Colin Smith. Anna Sonetta. Christopher Songo. Tyler Spinner. Jatine Shiar. Ashu Srirangan. Brianna Stiff. Vineet Reddy. Sadi Party. Rishi Tumala. Ryan Hutz. Pranav Vaikundam. Pranit Vaikundam. Luke Manuel. Ankush Vasareddy. Andrew Vent. Eva Fierley. Kai Teresa Walls. Tina Olivia Orchin. Victoria Wyko. Brock Risper. Michael Z. Amber Yen. Caitlin Yu. Jason Zhao.
As we close our program, the staff at Crestview would like to thank the parents and families of our students for the positive examples you have set for your children. I would especially like to thank our teachers for the extra efforts they have put into their daily planning and classroom instruction to ensure that all of our students are successful. And lastly, we would like to thank our students for their hard work and for the positive example they have set for their peers. We ask that the parents and guests remain seated while the students proceed out of the gym. A reception will be held in the cafeteria for the students and their families. All are invited. The cafeteria is located in the main building. Thank you again for attending and have a great rest of your evening.